Hello kids, a very warm welcome to you all to yet another fun-filled and activity-based learning of English grammar. Well, let's quickly begin with our warming up exercise today. And today we are going to do something new. What is that? Surprise. Okay, so at my count of 1, 2 and 3, begin breathing in and out or do the pranayama. So ready? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Today, the new thing that we are going to do is we are going to use positive affirmations and we are going to embrace those affirmations. We are going to speak those affirmations with conviction. Okay? So you are going to repeat these affirmations whenever you want to at your home. But today you will repeat it once after I have told it. Ready? Okay. So let's begin, kids. I strongly believe in myself. Repeat it once. I strongly believe in myself. Then, I am a bright student. You can say, I am a bright, talented and a successful student. Repeat. I am a bright, talented and a successful student. I enjoy all my classes because learning new things is fun. Can you repeat it? I enjoy all my classes because learning new things is fun. Now, at my count of 1, 2 and 3, you will begin with pranayama again. So, let's start. 1, 2, 3. Good. Now, let's end the warming up session. Ready for the clapping activity? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's great. Students, let's begin with the pearl of wisdom today. Well, it says, it is the choices that make us truly who we are, not our abilities. So what does this mean? It says, when you make a choice with your true conscience, then it makes you unique and not your abilities. So with this thought, let's quickly begin with our exciting journey of learning English grammar. So today, I have a poem for you to begin with. Are you all ready? Okay, great. So children, let's go through this poem. He is a boy and his name is Jim. If this toy is his, then it belongs to him. She is a girl and her name is Sue. Hers is the boat that is painted blue. You are you, that is plain to see. I'm not you and you are not me. We are together, we are more than one in our fun. They describes others, they are more than one. They walk and talk together, together they play and run. I am me and I am special as can be. You are my friend, together we play, then you and I are we. So kids, have you observed this poem? It says that you have spotted a number of pronouns, haven't you? So yes, can you tell me what a pronoun is? A pronoun? Yes, come on, give a guess. You all have been learning about pronouns from grade 1. Yes, you are right. So, pronouns are the words which are used in the place of a noun. Now, let's quickly begin with an activity to circle all the pronouns which are used in this poem. So, let's begin with highlighting these pronouns. He is a pronoun, and then his name is Jim is a pronoun. If this toy, his, then it belongs to him. She is a girl. Her name is Sue. Hers is the boat. That is painted blue. You are you. That is plain to see. I again is a pronoun. You is a pronoun. Again, you, pronoun. We is a pronoun. And now, we is again another pronoun. In our fun, our is another pronoun. Here, in the last part of the poem, you see they describes others. They is the pronoun. They again pronoun, and they are more than one. They walk and talk together. They is a pronoun. Together they play and run. I am me and I am special as can be. So again, I, you are my, that's you, and then together they play. You and I are we. So not this but this is the pronoun. Okay. Now if you closely observe this poem, you see that there are many different kinds of pronouns which have been used, right? So when they are talking about I, we, our, they, and then hers, her, she, all these lead us to our next topic, that is the kinds of pronouns. Students, there are almost 9 kinds of pronouns. So let's begin learning these pronouns one by one. To start with, we shall understand first all the pronouns which we have here in the textbook. So first, personal pronouns, possessive pronouns. The third is the demonstrative pronoun. Fourth, interrogative pronoun. Emphasizing pronoun, or it's called the emphatic pronoun. Indefinite pronoun. Distributive pronoun. Relative pronouns, and then finally you have the reflexive pronoun. Children, first category is, or the first kind is the personal pronoun. Now this is the pronoun which takes the position or is written in the place of a person. So for example, Radha is a good girl. She likes swimming. So in place of Radha, I have written she. So person, personal pronoun. Okay? It's a very easy way to remember. So whenever you're talking about a person and you are kind of replacing those names, repeating in the sentence or in your paragraph, then you replace them with a personal pronoun. Now, let's understand the two types of personal pronouns based on the positions that they take in a sentence. So the first one is the subject pronoun and the second one is the object pronoun. Now, we need to understand that a sentence is made up of subject, object and verb, which we already know. But here the point to remember is that when a pronoun takes the place or when it is in the place of a subject, then it is called a subject pronoun. And when a pronoun is in the place of an object, or in a sentence it has taken up the place of the object, then it is called the object pronoun. So students, let's look at these examples. First, my brother is a college student. He will graduate next year. And then look at this one. I have an iPhone and I love it. Okay. So the sentence starts with a pronoun. Well, this is not a pronoun here. So it says my brother is a college student. So the subject is my brother here. We're talking about the subject. And in place of it, we have used he. He will graduate the next year. So here, this word he or the pronoun he will act as a subject pronoun. Okay. So in this sentence, he is the subject pronoun. I have an iPhone and I love it. So here I starts with a personal pronoun. So it is a personal pronoun and this is the subject pronoun because here it is acting as a subject. Have an iPhone and I love it. So here again I is the subject pronoun and it. This is the object pronoun. So these are the two types of pronouns based on the positions. Okay. So the subject pronoun will act as the subject, object pronoun will act as the object. I hope you have understood this. Now let's understand the three forms of the personal pronoun. They are very simple. They are the first person, second person and third person. Students, let's begin understanding the forms of personal pronoun. But before that, let's just look at the examples. So I, you, we, he, she, they, it, her and him. All these are personal pronouns. Now, when we talk about the forms, there are three forms, that is first person, second person and the third person. The first person is the one who is speaking in a conversation. The second person would be who this person is speaking to. Okay, so I am speaking to you and I am the first person and you are the second person. Third person is this person who is being spoken of. Okay, for example, I and you are talking about them. Them, it could be a group of children, it could be a group of boys, it could be a group of girls, right? So that is the third person. Now, you need to understand that these are listed in a particular way on page number 39 in your textbooks. So, I want you to take your textbook and look at the table given in that. Please focus on this particular table. So, if you have a closer look, you will see that these personal pronouns have two ways of expressing itself in a sentence. It could be a singular or it could be a plural. So, when one person is speaking, then it is singular. When there are multiple people speaking together, then it will become the plural, right? So, here it says that this is the one which is the first person. It could be singular or plural, and if you look at the chart, this first person plural will be we. So, when we say we are going to participate in the dance competition. So, we is the pronoun which is the first person, okay, but it is in a plural form. Now, look at the next one, that is you. So, you can represent one person or many people. So, when it is representing many people, at that particular point, it will act as a plural second person. The third person is they. So, yes, when you are talking about multiple people and it is in a plural form, right? But if you want to talk about someone who is singular, So it could be simply he or she or it which is used in that particular place. Alright. So I hope you all have understood all the three forms of the personal pronoun. Now the next pronoun to be looked at is the possessive pronoun. Look here children, it says ours, yours, mine, hers, his, yours and theirs. So here if you look at the chart or the table in the textbook, they also list most of the same things, that is mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours and theirs. Let's understand these possessive pronouns with some examples and what do they tell us or what do they stand for. Well, it stands for something which is belonging, or when you want to say that this particular thing is mine. So it talks about possession or belonging. So kids, look at these two examples. Here it says his shoe size is bigger than mine. So his is simply the personal pronoun, okay, and then it says than mine. Mine is depicting a possession or it's talking about a belongingness of the shoes. So this is the possessive pronoun. Then the mansion or the mansion of on the hills is ours. So here it says whose is the mansion? It's ours. So here this is the possessive pronoun. Now let's get back to the personal pronoun and solve two examples here. We are going to the football game this weekend. So which is the personal pronoun here? Can you identify? Yes, you are right. It is we. Okay. Now we is what is we trying to tell here? It is a plural. Okay, it's not a singular but it is a plural personal pronoun. Yeah. So then you all come late to the function. It means you here because in this context there is a word which says all. So it's understood that this personal pronoun is a plural one. If I would say you come late to the function, so it would be singular pronoun. So here you would see two facets of you, singular and plural. It depends on the scenario of the sentence. Next, they are going to the movies after school today. They. What are they? They are again plurals. So now it's time for us to move on to the next kind of pronoun, that is interrogative pronoun. Kids, the next kind is the interrogative pronouns. As the name says, it asks question. So in a sentence when it asks questions or the words or the pronouns which are used to ask question is called interrogative pronoun. Look at the examples here. Who wants an extra notebook? Here who is acting as an interrogative pronoun which is used to ask particular things or people. Now here when you are talking about who, here you are talking about person, but here that is which, this is going to be about the things that you are pointing out at. For example, which is your notebook? So you have to point out which is your notebook. So it is going for a thing. Now look at your textbooks here on page number 39. See, what are you doing tomorrow? Which of the two boys won the race? Right? So these are the examples which are used as interrogative pronouns. Now the next topic is the demonstrative pronouns. Now what do we use these pronouns for? Is to point out at something. Okay? So that is, this is my favorite story book. Now that is the crystal chandelier I want to buy. So here again, if you look at this word, this, you are pointing out at a book. So this is the example for demonstrative pronoun. So now, that is the crystal chandelier I want to buy. Correct? So that. Now look at the examples here in your textbook. It says, these are the gifts I got on my birthday. So these, they are plural. Whereas this and that is singular. And then you have those belong to Mrs. Banerjee. Okay. So those belong to Mrs. Banerjee. Those again is a plural. So come to page number 40 on your textbooks and let's understand a little more about interrogative pronouns. Now here, what is used to ask questions about things? Okay, so whenever you want to talk about things, you use what. Which is used to ask about particular thing or a person, right? So now, who, whom and whose, all these are used to ask questions about people. So this is very simple. Now let's understand the next kind of pronoun, that is the reflexive pronoun. I want you to come to page number 42 of your textbooks and look at the definition. It says, a pronoun that is used when the subject and the object of a sentence refers to the same person. So here we go back to the structure of the sentence, that is subject, verb, object. So when we are talking about a subject and we are referring to the same subject in the position of object, then you call such pronouns as reflexive. For example, she did her work herself. So she, her, self will be the reflexive pronoun. Now, what is the next kind of pronoun? That is emphatic pronoun. Now, what is emphatic pronoun? So here it says, when you want to lay emphasis on a particular subject in the sentence or a particular thing in a sentence, then it is called a emphatic pronoun. Now here, come to page number 43. It says, a pronoun that is used for emphasis is called emphatic pronoun. Now let's work on a few examples. So let's understand a few examples about reflexive pronoun. Here it says, he bought the gift for himself. So we have to underline this as the reflexive pronoun because it is talking about the doer of the action and it is also the same as the subject, right? Look at the next one. We blamed ourselves for the mistakes. We blamed ourselves for the mistakes. So we is the subject here and we're talking about we, but then we're talking about, we are representing it by a reflexive pronoun, that is ourselves. Okay. So now what is that we need to keep in mind? Here you see that when we are talking about one person, we say himself or herself or do it yourself. So that is ends with self. It ends with self. And then when we are talking about plural people, so that is we. There we are going to add selves in the end. So that is selves. Okay. So now it says that two things to be remembered. If it is singular, you just add self. If it is plural, you add selves. Okay. I hope you've understood the reflexive pronoun. Kids, let's quickly do a recap. Now, I have a small exercise to be solved and here it says match the following. Here are the nouns that you need to match with the pronouns. So, are you all ready? Great. So, try to match this. Let's see. So, now start matching. Dave and John, what it could be? We or they? Yes? Can you guess? Now, again, Donald, what it could be? He, she or they? So, observe these questions. Sarah, what it could be? It, they, she or we? The car, what it could be? They or it? Jeremy and I, they or we? What it could be? So, observe, apply the rules. Think about the singulars and the plurals, and then here you have the object, which is a non-living thing, correct? So, what is the first thing that you would do? Dave and John, so you can say they, right? Then Donald, you can simply go for he. Sarah is a girl, so you will choose she. The car is a non-living object, so you will choose it. And then Jeremy and I here will be we. Okay? Now, you have understood how you would pair up these noun and the pronoun. Let's go for another recap activity. I want you to take out your textbook and come to the page number 40. So here you are going to underline the correct pronoun, okay, and also identify which kind it is. Then the brown hat is mine and the pink hat is yours. So which one would you underline? Right, mine and yours. Which kind of pronoun are these? They are, yes, showing belongingness. So these are the possessive pronouns. Next, who has drawn this beautiful sketch? It's a question. So now tell me, which pronoun is this and what would you underline here? So you will underline who and you will write interrogative pronoun. Next, he has asked you to carry an umbrella from him, for him, right? So he, underline that. Any other thing? Has asked you, so you would underline you as well. Now you are going to tell me which are the kind of pronouns that has been used here. So he and you both are personal pronouns. This essay book is more useful than that. So this and that. Here you need to understand this is pointing out at an object which is near, and that is an pronoun which is pointing out an object which is a little far off, and these two are the pronouns, so you underline these two. But what kind of pronoun are these? Yes, you are right, they are demonstrative pronoun. Next, our rooms are much more spacious than theirs. So here you would say our rooms, are is the correct word, so you will take that or underline that. Than theirs, theirs you will underline, which is another pronoun. Now which kind of pronoun is this? Yes, so are and theirs. Can you guess? Yes, you are right, they are reflexive pronoun, theirs and ours. So here you see that ours and theirs is a possessive pronoun. Now I want you to solve the rest of the exercise by yourself and come back to page number 42. We were discussing reflexive and emphatic pronouns, correct? So now we shall understand how we can use these in a sentence or identify these in a sentence. So for that, I want you to underline and state the pronouns on page number 45. Come to exercise A. So here it says there are errors in the use of reflexive and emphatic pronouns in these sentences. Correct the error and state whether it is reflexive pronoun or an emphatic pronoun. One has been done for you. Now first one, we think of myself as members of the welfare association. So here there is something which is incorrect. What is that? We is a pronoun that we are talking about. Think of myself. So we and myself are not going together. So you're going to underline myself and replace this myself with ourselves. Okay? So what do we write? We think of ourselves as members of the welfare association. Now which kind of pronoun is this? It is a reflexive pronoun, right? We blamed myself for the accident. Again, myself is something which is incorrect. So yes, so we blamed ourselves for the accident. And which is this pronoun? Which kind? Yes, it's reflexive. So have you noted that in these two examples, both of them have self in the ending, right? Or selves in the end. So both singular and plural examples have been mentioned here. So kids, please solve the rest of the questions yourself. Now let's move to the next kind of pronouns, that is indefinite pronoun and the relative pronoun. Indefinite pronoun. Now what is this pronoun? Is something which you are not definite about. So I want you to now take out your textbook, that is page number 43. Here you would see in the yellow box that a pronoun which is used to refer to some person or a thing that is not definite or specific. These words or these pronouns are called indefinite pronoun. So let's begin with a few examples. Kids, look at these examples. We finally moved to another apartment. So here you're not specific about which apartment you moved to. So it's just saying that we moved to another apartment. So this is the indefinite pronoun. Next, anything is possible if you believe. Okay, so anything. So this is something which is not definite. You can look for more examples in your textbook. Now we shall move on to the next kind of pronoun, that is distributive pronoun. So this pronoun talks about one particular thing. So when you want to refer to each object or each thing or each person in a group, then you use distributive pronoun. Now look at the examples. So the example here, each of the students have participated in the drama act. So here it says each. So you're having number of students, and from those number of students you are only referring to one student, that is each student. Each of the students have participated in the drama competition. Now the next example is in your textbook. Just have a look at that. Here it says each of the girls have the correct answer. Then either of these books is Nidhi's. So here either is the pronoun which is distributive pronoun. So now let's move on to the next and my most favorite kind of pronoun, that is relative pronoun. Students, the relative pronoun is a pronoun that actually relates to the noun or the group of words which follows it. So usually the point to be remembered here in these relative pronoun is that there will be a noun first and following it will be the relative pronoun, which would be referring to the noun. So for example, look at the book there. The first example, Mukesh is a tailor. He stitches fancy dresses. So here there are two sentences, right? And in the second one, if you observe, Mukesh is a tailor who stitches fancy dresses. So here if you see, tailor is the noun that has been referred and following it is the pronoun, which is relative, and it is also doing a function, or it is also performing a function of conjunction. So it is joining the two sentences above. Now look at the second example. This is the vase. I bought it from the fair. This is the vase which I bought from the fair. So here which is the relative pronoun. Now here you would want to see that the noun is used before the relative pronoun. So isn't this easy, kids? So let's quickly do a recap on all the three kinds of pronouns that we have learned. Yeah. I met Hari dash had just returned. So here you're going to add a pronoun. So what do you think you will add here? Any guesses, children? Yes, you are right. So it is who. Next one. I have found the pen. Okay. I have found the pen that I lost, or you can also write which I lost. So quickly think of the answers that you would add to the next one. Dash of us could opt for the science stream. Yes, what do you think you will add here? And then you can take dash of these sweets. What do you want to do? Right? So now here it says one of us, or you can also say each of us would opt for the science stream. Then you can take the, or what will you write? You can take some of these sweets. So here you will write some of these sweets. Okay, so these were the questions related to the indefinite, distributive and relative pronouns. I want you all to solve a few questions mentioned in the textbook. So please do that. Now let's continue with the concluding activity. Students, now let's try to conclude our chapter with a mind map. Now, look at this chart. Here it says these are the types of the pronoun. Now, what are the pronouns that we have learned today? Can you recall? Yes, first we learned personal pronoun, which talks about I, me, you, persons. Possessive, it talks about belongings. Then distributive, when it wants to be talking about one object in a group. Interrogative asks questions. Demonstrative, when it points out at a particular thing, object or a person. Reflexive, it talks about when the subject and the doer of the action is one, and they usually end with self or selves. And then emphatic pronoun. Emphatic pronoun, they lay emphasis. Then you have the relative pronoun. This is used to talk about nouns or the pronouns which are just followed by the noun. Okay, and they also can be used as conjunctions in a sentence. Finally, you have the indefinite pronoun. Now what is indefinite pronoun? Indefinite pronoun is something when you're not sure of. Those pronouns will be used when you are not sure about who did the action or what object you're talking about. Students, I have an activity for you all. I want you to recall all the pronouns that you have learned under personal pronouns. So you will have to name these pronouns for me, and then I am quickly going to paste them here. So yes, can you recall one of or a few personal pronouns? Yes, the first personal pronoun is I. So let's quickly paste this I here. Okay, and then it could be he. Yes, you're right. Then what do you think is the correct one or the personal pronoun? She. Okay. Then what is the next one? We. Wow. So our tree of personal pronoun is ready. So let's move on to the next kind. Which is this? Yes, it's possessive pronoun, right? So which are the ones which can be used here? Yes, can you recall? Yes, ours, mine, theirs. Very good. So let's begin pasting them here. So kids, the next kind is the possessive pronoun. Now, what are the examples of possessive pronoun that you've learned? Yes? Yes, you're right. It is mine, then hers, yes, and then ours. Very good. So let's continue building this tree here. And what is the last one? Is theirs, right? So here we have our possessive pronoun tree ready. Which is the next one? It is demonstrative pronouns. Can you recall the demonstrative pronouns that you have learned? Yes, you are right. So let's quickly begin pasting them on the tree. So can you name one of the demonstrative pronoun? Yes, this, that, those, these. You are right. So let's continue adding them here. So this, those, that, and then these. Okay? Students, now you shall give me the examples of the interrogative pronouns. So yes, the one which asks questions. Yes. So can you tell me? Yes, very good. Who? Whom? So let's start pasting them. Whom? Whose? Then you have which. Very good. And then you have who. That's WHO. And then you have what. Right? Correct. So now we move on to the next kind of pronoun. So kids, now let's understand what were the examples that you learnt under reflexive pronouns. So I want you to recall them now. Yes, they were the one which ended in SELF and SELVES, right? And these were mainly the one which referred to the doer of the action. So can you give me the words? Yes, it's himself, myself, herself, and then ourselves. Okay, let's go on to the next kind of pronoun. So emphatic pronouns, yes, they both are more or less the same, right? Here they are used to lay emphasis. So what are the examples that you have learned? Yes, you're right. So it's again himself, myself, herself, and ourselves. Okay? So kids, the next one is the indefinite pronouns. So let's quickly recall what you've learned. So can you name a few? Yes, indefinite pronoun. Yeah, go ahead, give me the examples. When you're not sure, you use these words. So, none. And then, somebody. Nobody. Finally, few. Okay? What is the next kind? Can one of you tell me? Yeah? Yes, you are right. It is relative pronoun, and the final one is the distributive pronoun. So let's begin with that. Here, distributive pronoun and relative pronoun. So the distributive pronoun, there are few examples that you've learned today. One is each. Yes, you're right. So each, and then neither, and then either or either. Both ways there are pronunciations. So now finally let's move on to the relative pronoun. So here, which are the words that we have used? Yes, we have used the word that. Then we have used the word whose, right? So whose. And finally we have, so yes, there are who, whom, oops, just, then you have the which, so here. Alright, so these were the pronouns, the kinds of pronouns and their examples. So I hope you all have enjoyed the class and have learnt something really well. So now we shall end the class, and I hope to see you soon the next week. Until then, you take care, stay safe and healthy. Happy learning. Bye bye.